welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do something different. I'm going to give an unsolicited story time about how I left my dream job to work at the job that I'm working now. The story starts in 2022, June 2022. In June 2022, I went to orientation to become a flight attendant, working for a major carrier, but not directly for them, but like for their sister company. So flying on their planes, but not working directly for them, if that makes sense. So I was doing that, and I've always wanted to be a flight attendant because I love traveling. Like, self-care is going to another country, just traveling, being somewhere on the beach. That's self-care for me. So I loved it. Like, it was not like routine, because I'm not really a fan of routine. I like just doing different things, and I love meeting new people. So it was just like the perfect opportunity. And I was so grateful and just so blessed to be able to experience and travel the world, and my son to travel with me, and then have my mom and then whoever my travel companion would be at that time to travel with me. So it was a beautiful thing. However, as you know, that there are ups, there are also some downsides. So when the company that I work for specifically, though we were flying for a major air carrier, I was not making major air carrier money. One thing, or maybe some things you may know or may not know about being a flight attendant. So you get an hourly pay, but it's not like your regular job. When you arrive to work, you start getting paid. No, it don't work like that. So most airlines, when you start boarding, you don't get paid for boarding.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Yeah, you heard me. You don't get paid for boarding. So most of the time you're working, the flight attendants are working for free. It's not until they release the brakes and they start moving the plane and doors close. At that point is when you start clocking, getting paid. Your hourly pay starts. And as you can imagine, that's a unfortunate situation, because who wants to go to work and then start work and not get paid? But unfortunately, that was the situation. So it was times where, and then again, as I say, you only get paid for flight hours, not actually duty hours. So duty hours is like, say for instance, I arrived to the airport at 10 o'clock. So I arrived to the airport at 10 o'clock, but let's say our flight don't leave until 12. And let's say the flight is only 2 hours. I get paid for those 2 hours, whatever my hourly pay is. So it's times that I worked 14 to 15 hour days and only got paid 6 hours, because I only did like maybe 3 flights, and each flight was 2 hours each. So of course you can imagine, like, who can pay bills, especially in today's time? Who can pay bills like that? Exactly. And I have a son. My son is now 14. He was 12 at the time when I took the job. And at first it was cool, because my whole goal was like, okay, I want to keep the benefits. I want to work part-time, because at that time we were able to keep our benefits as long as we flew 6 days out the entire month. And it could be however you want it to be, but it had to be 6 days out the entire month. But then towards the end, it was so crazy. You couldn't drop anything. Like, at first I was able to kind of maneuver and make my own schedule and kind of make it work for me. Towards the end, it was not like that. It was like always, you was always working, and I was on call, and that's a whole nother story in itself. So you'd be on call for 16 hours a day. So I would be on call from 4 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then if they call me, it's a 2-hour call out. So they call me like, hey, we need you to work this trip. I had 2 hours to get to the airport. That's from the time that they call me to getting dressed and to arrive at my gate. So of course your bags always have to be packed, which, you know, I was good. I didn't got a routine or whatever, so that worked. But it's just like I was gone. It was just required so much of my time and energy, and I wasn't getting the pay. So it's like, it's not making sense here. The math ain't mathing. And then so I was just like depressed. I was really depressed, because it's like I can't afford my lifestyle, can't pay my bills, and then I'm always away from home. I'm missing important events like holidays. I really couldn't like drop the days that I'm working holidays, and I wasn't around my son, and I had to have my mom take care of my son, and it was just too much. And so I had asked God, like, you know, I want a job where I can be at home, where I can make some decent money, and I could be there more for my son. So I came across the job that I'm working now. I work for the 988 crisis line. Yes, you heard that right, 988. So I am a crisis worker. So I work for the suicide hotline. Yeah, so just like 911, it's a national hotline where people can call in that are having suicide ideations, suicide homicidal ideations. And yeah, as you can imagine, it's taxing mentally. But while I was in training, because every time when I would tell people about the job, like, yeah, I got this job offer, and people's like, you crazy for doing that. I've had many jobs, like many different jobs. So crazy jobs, what is that? I'm like, well, at least I want to give it a try, you know, to at least say I tried and say, hey, it's not for me, or if it's for me. And while I was in training, that training was so intense. Let's just say that it was really intense. That and I've been through a lot of trainings, but that training was the most intense training because you had to share your personal business, like trauma, of course, healed trauma, or trauma that anything that's bothered you, that you processed, you had to share that with complete strangers. Exactly. And I am not really an open book. I'm nice, I'm cool, but I'm more of a private person. So that was very hard for me to do, to be vulnerable and open up to people, especially people that I don't know. But every day I pray, like, God, is this for me? Is this for me? You sure? You sure? I don't know about this. And at each and every day, when I mean each and every day, he revealed to me that this is exactly where I need you to be. I need you to help people. And boy, has this been a journey. It's almost been a year since I left my job as a flight attendant. I left the job in February this year. And so February next year, February 13th, will be 1 whole year that I've been at this job. And it's been a job. It's been a lot. Like, it's as much as rewarding as it has been. Like, I've literally saved people's lives. So that's the blessing in all of it. And I'm being there for people in their time of need. So it's refreshing to have people like at a 10 and then bring them down to like a 2, and then just being human and just talking to people during their time of need. Because you'd be surprised, a lot of people don't have a support system. A lot of people don't have people to open up to or talk to. So it's a blessing to be able to do that, but it's so important. And even in training, they were very, very stern with like taking care of yourself, self-care. Like, what are you going to do for yourself? Like, what are your plans for self-care? Like, they advocate for self-care, something crucial. And I was like, oh, okay, that's good. But no, I understand now how important that is, because you're taking so much trauma, secondhand trauma. People are literally giving you their like trauma dumping on you. That's, yeah, it's unfortunate, but you just have to find a place to put it. You have to find a place to put it, and you have to maintain your mental health as well. And that's been a challenge. Sometimes, some days it's good, some days it's like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. But through it all, I can say that because of God's grace, I am still here, and I'm still in my right state of mind. Even though some days it's like, I may not feel like it, but I'm still here and I still push. And then what I can say, even after like the calls where it's like, okay, because not all call is going to be successful. Some people just still want to unalive themselves. So you know, it's that radical acceptance that I've done everything that I can do. But what I do, every time that I get off a call, like especially a heavy call, I just say a quick prayer for them, and then put it in God's hands, and I leave it up to God. Because at the end of the day, this is beyond me. This is beyond me. So let this be a sign, or I guess my testimony, in a sense, that sometimes our dreams, we are going to experience like our dream jobs, our dreams, but maybe for us to see like, okay, well, I thought that I wanted this, but hey, it's not what I thought it could be. And then sometimes God uses you and redirects you, gives you redirection, and just puts you in other places. So I just wanted to share that story, just to encourage someone that sometimes you are right where you need to be. If you're not where you need to be, God is directing you to where he wants you to be. So stay encouraged and stay blessed.